keep hearing y'all, some of you coons, some of you Sambos, and all you white folk. Shout out to Mel Kiper, matter of fact, while we talking. Shout out to Mel Kiper for standing strong in what he believed. They were trying to get off of that. They didn't want to talk about that, about the real reason why they were balling that boy, tar and feathering him. Shout out to Mel Kiper for keeping him going and stirring up the pot. Yeah, that's what, for me, it ain't never been about black and white. It just happens to be about black and white. But for me, it's not about black and white. It's about right. Because there's some good white people that marched in Martin Luther King lost their lives. Got beat up, drugged, water hose, bit up, just like the black folk did, supporting the black folks. So it ain't never about black and white. It just happens to be about black and white on the other end. Yeah. Shout out to Mel Kiper for standing in the gap, stepping outside on himself and not worried about what anybody think. Standing up for Shadur's, standing up for the tar and feathering of Shadur's. Tar and feathering, if y'all know, they used it as a tactic to make sure they used it during slavery, they used it during war, which is something that is never personal, because when you understand the people that started this country when they was over in their land in Europe, all of them over there killing each other over there. Going to war over there, bloodthirsty. They been bloodthirsty, so it ain't about color. It's just the fact that because you are one with that color and been used as slave, you looked a little lesser than, so you treated a little lesser than. But I know it. They just bloodthirsty. They just who they are. They conquerors. But nevertheless, tar and feathering, they used even with the slaves, where they would throw tar on them and throw feathers on them, and they would march them through the town so that everybody can see this. He stepped out of line. He spoke up. He tried to get away. He tried to run away. He tried to be more than what we feel like he think he is. So we're going to make an example out of him. That's what tar and feathering is. And that's what they try to do to Shadur Sanders. And I'm not going to speak in this long because I sat back and just listened to the opinions. I realized that a lot of us, our heads are still in the sand. A lot of us still don't fully understand, still don't fully comprehend what's under the underlying tone, that elephant in the room that's going on in this country when it comes to race relations. Yeah, he was tarred and feathered. Shout out to Dion for raising a real man. And that's, a large part was about Dion talked back. Because there's a lot of arrogant black men. A lot of overconfident that are flashy, got their chains and their cars, and they do a whole lot of extraness in this country. But a lot of them, they speak negativity to the black community. So don't nobody give a damn about no wretched nigga that's creating destructive behaviors and destructive mottos and language and music and habitats for their own, because it's just going to happen there. But when you have a flashy, arrogant, confident black man that's not destructive, and he sit there and he look that white man square in their eyes and tell him by himself, that's a different type of, that's a threat. That's a different type of brother. That's a Django, like I told y'all before. We got 3 type of Negroes in this country. Yeah, Jamal Brown, I understand what you were saying in that interview about the white man being the #1 perpetrator of all these violent crimes. But when you look at the population, you look at the number of people in the violent crimes that happen in our community, the black woman being the #1 victim in the country, the black man being the #2 victim in the country, and you look at the numbers that are in prison, from both sides, the 48% of the black women in jail, but only making up 13% of the population, when that white boy making about 60-something% of the population. That's a problem. That's a problem. When we're a small number, but big numbers in all the wrong categories. You told no lies, but our focus is in the wrong place. We have to worry about what's going on in our house. Us, black people, Black Americans. We got a clean house. Our household. We got to take care of some things that's been some loose ends and deal with some things going on inside our house before we keep trying to deal with that. We can talk about that all along, but we don't get no solution when it comes to us. In solidarity and unity, we still ain't achieved. We don't got away from it. Jamal, I get it. But we got to ask ourselves, why is that black woman the #1 victim in the country? And who is her perpetrator? Who is her perpetrator? Who killing her? Who raping her? Who sex trapping her? Who's domestic violating her? Why? Who beating her up? Who killing her? That's what we got to deal with, Jamal. I love you, by the way. When I first started chasing out the God, I watched a lot of your videos. I was mesmerized by your wordplay and the eloquence of your speech, and where you brought your sermons together from, where you pulled it together. I admired it, and I still do. But sometimes we got to do the hard thing. We got to be the villain. And a lot of times the villain is right there inside our own. Don't nobody like the one that wants to decide to change. Here first, before we go outside and deal with Frankenstein, a.k.a. Uncle Sam, a.k.a. the United States of America, that white boy that started this country. But back to Shadua, tarred and feather, they said one thing, and the thing that bothered me is because they say that a coward dies 1,000 deaths. And there's a lot of cowards that I'm starting to realize, the older I get, I'm starting to realize that a lot of men ain't who they say they are. There's a lot of cowards, black men and white men. You white men is cowards because you're not real with it. You want to be hush hush. We niggas behind closed doors. You treat us like it. You right with that pen, with legislation, with laws, with units, scorpion units, red dog units. You know them units that go out and go to the black side every time, enrich your profile, beat up niggas, lock them up, make more money off of them, put that money in a pot called government expenditure. Yeah. We're cool with that. And y'all don't want to talk about it. Y'all said that Shadua said to hope he learned his lesson. What lesson was he supposed to learn? That's what I want to know. What lesson say it. Say what lesson he was supposed to learn. And I respect you a little bit more. But because you won't say what the lesson is and why he, out of all people, need to learn a lesson, then your words fall to the ground. You just another coward. Coward. Yeah, I'm talking about you white boys. Because y'all really don't like, a lot of y'all really don't like niggas. But you got to deal with us. So you're trying to be politically correct instead of just calling a spade a spade. And then on the flip side of that, we got the brothers. Brothers. To just let anything go on. Let your children just get done all kind of ways. Let your woman the #1 victim in the country. I keep telling everybody, we got to go back to Emmett Till. It was men in that house, and it was some black men that helped take them white boys to the house. And they let them folk come in there and take that boy up out of there with some men in the house. Let them take that boy up out of there, beat him up, shot him in the head, and threw him in a river. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. Yeah. A coward died. That's my whole point of what I'm trying to say. Like, we know the boy got tarred and feathered. We know all that. And the way he responded was upstanding. And I love it. He never lost his composure. He kept his cool. He stayed focused and he understood what was going on. And he finna rise to the occasion. And I shout out Dion for standing firm and raising young men, showing the world what young black men supposed to look like, sound like, how they supposed to move. That's the threat. When you raising young men that speak and talk back and call it what it is. Stand firm in their black masculinity and manhood. That's a threat. They don't give a damn about a loudmouth, flashy, arrogant, wretched nigga that's going to go out there and destroy and terrorize the black community. They don't care about that. They let that happen. Y'all see that happen. Because they locked them up and put them right back out on the street to go terrorize some more. Y'all got to pay attention. Ain't nobody go yell it out loud. It's happening right up underneath your nose, but your focus is on the wrong things. Everybody want to be famous. Everybody wants some attention. Everybody want to be known. Everybody a legend in their own damn head. That's the problem with us. And like I said, I'm one that believes in taking care of our household first before we deal with that white boy. Because it's a three-headed monster. Mama, daddy, and the United States of America, a.k.a. Uncle Sam, a.k.a. Frankenstein. Because Frankenstein got something to do with the mindset and pathology passed down through the lineage of these black Americans. And again, for all you good white folk that's hiding behind your keyboards, your computers, those of you that was on the stage mad, I keep telling you, but it's like that first year with Dion up in Colorado. How they were so, everybody wanted to see them lose. Them white folks, that was the real white folks that y'all was seeing. Them was the real ones. The ones that Dion bring out, that's how they really are. They can't stand him. They can't stand him being confident, exceptional. The way that Oregon coach responded. That's the real white folks in America. Not them Bidens that he, but you a nigga behind closed doors. And the rest of them, y'all know what I'm talking about. Even on your job, from federal, state, all the way down to local, on every level, at the job, at the schools, everywhere, it's the same thing. Yeah. Like Angel Reese said, it's okay when y'all do it, but when we do it, it's a problem. Wasn't the problem when Jimmy Mann was overconfident. Joe Namath was a whole nother level of arrogancy and flashiness. Come on now. Manziel, y'all took it what? Number one, what was the draft pick? Baker Mayfield, same thing, extra. But they white boys, so they could get away with it. But the Negroes, we can't do that. We got to stay in the pocket. We got to learn our lesson, as y'all say. What? That we not Kunta Kinte, we Toby? Man, come on. Talking to my folk. Yeah, y'all just want to get on here and just chime in. And we don't want to talk about it too much. I didn't need y'all to get y'all head out the sand. I keep telling you, I have 3 types of Negroes in this country. And it was depicted in that movie, Django. When Django rolled up on that front porch, you had Stephen, who was the Sambo house nigga, that was all about Master, trying to please Master, trying to not make Master uncomfortable. Django, an exceptional Negro like Dion, one that's confident, understands who he is, and ain't finna change for nobody. And then you had the ones that was in chains, that was on the ground, all chained up together. And the ones that had their head tucked down, they just stayed out the way. They wasn't no house nigga, and they wasn't no Django. They were just some niggas that just was going along with the flow. Those are 3 types of niggas that's in this country. And we gotta change the narrative. It's time to this cowardliness gotta go. It's time to stand up for our babies and stand up for our women, who are the number 1 and number 2 victims in this country. Hey, it's your boy Hard and Subtle, a.k.a. MANOFTHUNDA. Just checking in. Yeah, y'all want to know why I got this on right here? Because this what I see when I see a lot of politicians. y'all might see their face what they show on TV, but this what I see in the spirit. A lot of them. This what I see when I see a lot of pastors and preachers and all of them too. I see the same thing. Yeah. They got on the suits and the tie. They don't dress it up. But underneath it all is a heathen. Yeah. A robber. Scammer. That's what I see when I see y'all. So I just had to dress the part. I'm going corporate. It's my corporate uniform right here. Man, holler back at me.